Hello guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. So, I just received this today from Samsung, or rather T-Mobile. This is the Galaxy S22 Ultra 5G. This is the 256 gig model. So, this is February the 21st. I just received it today, online order from T-Mobile. I'm going to be upgrading away from the Note 20 Ultra 5G. It's also a 5G phone, I forgot to mention. So it's a quick unboxing. As you can see, they've changed the packaging a little bit. The box is very thin. You do not get a charger anymore. The only thing that comes in here, from what I heard, is just the charging cable and the SIM puller tool. And box is very thin. So let's get to unboxing it. So guys, let's get to unboxing this phone. It's got the usual customary tape holding it on. Only to one side, it looks like. So I'm going to try to keep this in the frame the best as I can. As usual, the phone is right on the top. So this is the S21 Ultra. It is noticeably heavier than the Note, I can tell you that right now. And then there is your 5 camera cutouts. This might be a little harder to see because this is a totally black color phone. So the camera cutouts are right here, just 5 different holes. Looks like they got the protective plastic on here, so just lift it off. And I always put that on the inside lid. The front has your customary screen protector. Just not really screen protector, but plastic shipping covering. It almost looks identical to the Note. If you look at the front of the Note, the front, you can barely tell the difference apart. My Note is the rose gold color. So this phone is 6.8 inches. I guess it's 1.1 down from the Note 20 Ultra. Looks a little thicker than the original Note, but the one thing to take away is it is noticeably a little heavier. So let's power it up and let's just see how long it takes for it to power up. There'll be another segment of this video where I shall do the actual review. So it's just saying the usual thing that I would always say. S21 Ultra. And it's just going through its initial boot up phase. And of course the setup. So we'll continue that setup later. I got a simple case from it. If I'm saying this pronouncedly, it's a Spigen case, like $13 on Amazon. Just a typical black case. I'll find a more elaborate one, maybe a clear one later. This is what else comes in here. Literally, that's it. A little insert. On the inside, there's an instruction booklet. That is all you get. Power cable. It's USB-C on either side. So if you need to transfer things to a computer, you got to have a USB-C input to the computer or laptop, or you have to have an adapter. And somewhere in here is the SIM puller. There it is. That's all you get. I'm going to go ahead and put the case on. Never take one of these out of your home without putting the case on. Murphy's Law does apply. Before I put the case in, the one notable thing to note is this phone, even though it's the S20 Ultra, it has an S Pen. The S Pen is black like the rest of the phone. And it goes in the bottom on the exact same side that it did on the Note 20. So I'm going to go ahead and put the case on. Move all this other junk out of the way. Line the camera holes up with the case. And it pretty much just pops in there. No effort at all. Nothing fancy, nothing elaborate. So I'll go ahead and finish setting this up later, and this video will continue later. So next we're going to look at a couple videos that are taken with the screen recorder feature on both the Note 20 Ultra and the S22 Ultra, just to compare the user interface and some basic settings I think may be helpful. So guys, this is the home screen of the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra 5G. If it looks a little different to you than what you usually used to see, it's because I'm using a custom launcher called Nova Prime. Just gives you a lot more options. If you notice, that little edge panel is still there, and you can use the quick launch for the edge screen features if you want. I don't really use it. To get rid of it, just click anywhere else on the screen. A couple more things I want to look at here is some display settings that just might help out. Before we go to display settings, you notice the quick launcher is almost identical as the previous versions. I mean, I had the Note 20 Ultra 5G, and this is the same. And before that, the Note 10. And I'm pretty sure they're running versions of UI, Samsung UI, that are pretty close to this. So you can customize your quick shortcuts here. There's a little plus sign if you want to remove or add them or whatnot. You can just do the brightness at the bottom. Now, for the display settings that are recommended, I would say, of course, you want to leave the adaptive brightness on. The motion smoothness should be set to adaptive. That means you'll get all the way down to 1 hertz, I believe, if the screen is not moving, like a still image, which will save you extreme amount of battery. That is a new feature, I believe, that is incorporated into this phone version, and does not exist in other versions of the Samsung phones. I believe the Note 20 Ultra and the S21 Ultra do not have that feature. You can set it to standard if you want, but you're only going to get 60 hertz resolution. I'll leave it on adaptive. Let's go back to display. The other one I really recommend leaving it on is vivid. Your colors will pop. Natural just kind of flattens the colors so much. I think vivid kind of exaggerates the colors, but it does make them look a lot better. If you just want regular colors, then just put it back on natural. Screen resolution will work fine at Full HD+. You could put it on the highest possible setting, which will make everything look a little more beautiful, sharper, but it will eat up a little bit more of your battery. This feature here, Full HD+, is fine for just about everything else. Something else I kind of wanted to look at, I turned the phone on its side, by the way. And I'm not too sure if this is going to adapt as I'm doing a recording here. So I'm going to open up the camera. The camera is in landscape mode for what I'm seeing. You're going to notice a little bit of differences. You see your zoom levels. You have a 0.6, that's new. 1, 3, 10. And I think on some previous versions, those things look like trees or something like that. So I do believe that's new. So the thing that really stands out on this phone is the mode that they've added. If you go to more, you're going to see this thing called Director's View. I am holding this phone, by the way. It's not on a tripod. This is going to give you an option to see all possible viewing modes in the same screen, and that is due to the processing power of this phone. So you can go to the zoom, kind of a zoomed in view. I believe that would be just the natural no zoom or wide angle. So as you're doing you could do like a movie here or whatever, and you can have your options as to what it's going to record in. And it has actually got activating the rear camera where it can see me. So that's pretty amazing. I'm not going to actually do a recording or anything. That is something that stands out noticeably about this phone. Okay, so as you saw, I did not go very deep into things, a noticeable difference in the camera. The low light features are pretty much built in. You don't have to tweak anything. There is a professional mode if you want to use it, where you can pretty much adjust everything. But my test videos will show the low light capabilities of this phone. So this is a screen grab from the Note 20 Ultra. I'm using Nova Launcher, so it pretty much looks the same as my other phone. This also has the edge panels. You can customize them, do whatever with them. I really don't use that feature, but some people find it amazing, but it does give you shortcut access. To get off of them, just click anywhere on the empty part of the screen, but there's not an icon. I'm going to move this recording thing out of the way. I don't think it actually shows, but I'm going to go into the menus or the toggles here, and you'll see that they're pretty much the same as the S22 Ultra. No noticeable difference. It does have the plus sign down there. You can add toggles to it or shortcuts, whatever you want to call them, or reorganize them. I want to go to the settings here, and you will see there's no noticeable difference. They're all in the same order. This is running the same version of Android. You go down here to About Phone. You go to Software Information. It's running a little older version of the One UI 4.0, Android version 12. And as a little trick, if you keep tapping on an Android version 12, you get a little animation. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of that. And then go back to display. This phone pretty much has the same display settings. Leave it on adaptive brightness, of course. Motion smoothments gives you adaptive or standard. Adaptive allows you to go all the way up to 120 hertz, but it does not go all the way down to 1 hertz, so there's less battery optimization. Standard would take you to 60. Leave it on adaptive. I have this one set to vivid mode. And pretty much full screen resolution, full HD plus will give you beautiful colors, exactly what you need. This will give you even more high resolution on pictures, movies. It'll make the screen pop more, but it does eat more battery. So I put it on the middle setting. So the next thing I want to look at here is the camera. And I'm not going to go too deep into it, but just to show one noticeable difference, I'm going to turn this on the side. It's not on a tripod. You can see on the camera here, I'm going to get out of video mode. If you go to photo mode, there's not 4 zoom settings. There are 3. There's the 0.5, which is zoom out. 1x is normal. Then the 5x is 5x zoom. Very little difference. This is the standard photo mode. And if you get out of here and go to video, you will see that it looks absolutely identical. I have it set to the same setting as the Galaxy S22 Ultra, Full HD, 16:9. And the maximum zoom on this setting will take you all the way up to 10x. So, I mean, as far as daytime, it is absolutely the same as the S22 Ultra. If you go to more, I'm going to take it all the way. You have more, which is your advanced features. They're identical. I'm not going to go through each one, but you are missing the director's view on this. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of this mode, flip the phone back to its normal, and it is absolutely identical. So that's it. Just a little comparison between the Note 20, which is this phone, and the S22. So now we're going to take a look at a pictures and video comparison between this S22 Ultra and the Note 20 Ultra. S22 Ultra and Note 20 Ultra, same picture. S22 Ultra, 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 selfie picture. Note 20 Ultra, same picture. S22 Indoor Ultra. Note 20 Ultra Indoor. S22 Ultra Outdoor at dusk. Note 20 Ultra Outdoor at dusk. Almost Dark S22 Ultra, Almost Dark Note 20 Ultra, Macro S22 Ultra, and same picture, Note 20 Macro. And this is the same video, New Braunfels Town Square with the Galaxy S22 Ultra 5G. And I'm not noticing anything different. Of course, I'm just looking on the phone screen. Looks just as good as the Note 20. Let's look at the zoom. Now the zoom is going twice as much. That's 10 on the other phone, on the Note 20. This one is up to 20. And like I did on the Note, I'm using the 1080i at 60 frames per second. I'm not going to go through every mode. I'm suspecting maybe 30 frames per second. There's more options. So this is the test video with the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G. You can see here, very beautiful video in the daytime. I'm in New Braunfels, in the main town square and the roundabout. It's taking beautiful pictures. The zoom is useful till about this point, but if you start going further, you will see the pixelization. The maximum zoom on this phone in video is about 10x. This is a video with the Galaxy S22 Ultra. This is using the selfie camera over here, still at the New Braunfels Park. And this, I am seeing a discernible difference. I can see the handling of the light is a lot better without going deeply into every single speck. It's a wider angle video. I do have the phone turned in landscape mode, but it's just perfectly clear. And this is a 40 megapixel camera in the front. I'm assuming it's using the full 40 megapixel because I do not see a setting to downgrade it for the selfie cam. But as far as I can see, it's absolutely perfect. Let's do the Note 20 Ultra. This is using the selfie camera on the Note 20 Ultra, still at Landa Park. I'm in landscape mode. Again, there's really no settings that I can see to adjust the megapixels in the selfie cam. In the video mode anyway. Looks absolutely perfect, but that's on my screen. I don't see any problems with the light. Clear, but I do believe the maximum capability of this camera is 10 megapixel in the selfie mode. This is the Note 20 Ultra. This is low light, very low light condition in my kitchen. Just the under counter lights on, and then a little light from outside. And you can see right here, the hallway is very dark. It's not picking up the background light. This is like a little thing called a mud room. It is picking up that night light there. Okay, let's see what the S22 Ultra can do. Same exact video. This is the Galaxy S22 Ultra. Low light conditions, only the under counter lights on. Okay, this is where you can see the difference. I'm pointing it toward the hallway. There's no light in there. You can see it's amplifying the light. And it's amplifying it a little bit more than what I'm seeing with my actual eyes. This is the mudroom area. It does have some limitations, I believe, because I tried this before. I go into this laundry room. Okay, it has its limits because you really can't see much in there. So it can't amplify light that doesn't exist. But it's lighting up that hallway. That's pretty cool. This is a test video with the Galaxy S22 Ultra. This is kind of at the dusk time of the evening. A little chilly out here. At this point, you're not going to see much difference between this phone and the Note 20 Ultra. getting kind of darker. So not necessarily testing a low light capability, but it is very clear. I'm using the 1080i, 60 frames per second. And this is the same exact test video using the Note 20 Ultra 5G at approximately dusk time. Getting a little darker. And just looking at the video, I don't see anything different. What I'm noticing about the two phones versus the S20 Ultra is that there's absolutely no difference in normal light. The camera hardware is very close in specifications. The real test will be when it's practically dark outside. So this is the Galaxy S22 Ultra in an extremely low light situation. Just some street lights. Appears to be doing quite well. Little bit of noise in the picture. This is at 1080i, 60 frames per second, I'm sorry. This is a nighttime test, the Note 20. "60 frames per second, full HD. Note 20. And this is to demonstrate the S22 Ultra. And to test its macro mode, we're getting closer to the object. And yes, you could see you could get a whole lot closer than the Note 20. This is to demonstrate the Note 20 Ultra. The one thing it doesn't really have is macro, so I'm coming in closer to this object. And you can see from this point, it's getting blurry. So guys, when you look at these two phones side by side, they're pretty much identical. The Galaxy S22 Ultra is on the left, and the Note 20 Ultra is on the right. Just identical. They look like Notes. And for all intents and purposes, the Galaxy S22 Ultra is a Note because it has the S Pen. So let's take a look at the back of these phones. So guys, this is the Galaxy S22 Ultra on the left and the Note 20 Ultra on the right. And this is the rear view. You can see on the Note 20 Ultra on the right, the camera module is massive. It protrudes. And if you were to lay that thing flat down on the ground, it would wobble pretty much. And on the left is the S22 Ultra. The camera cutouts are much less pronounced. They do stick out a little bit. On both of them, you really need to have a good case that will not allow those cameras to touch any flat surfaces or any surfaces for that matter. Both the phones are using the Gorilla Glass. And it is very smooth, it is not reflective, and it's not a fingerprint magnet. So that's what they look like from the back. So guys, thanks for watching so far. So kind of have a verdict in here. This is S22 Ultra 5G is an amazing phone. Battery life is amazing. You can go an entire day, 7 or 8 hours screen time, and still have about a 30% charge. And I'm not a gamer, so maybe my scores are not exact, but if you're just a regular user watching videos, taking pictures, using social media, this thing is a beast. It has a 5,000 milliamp battery. As I mentioned before, when I was doing the recordings, the adaptive rate will go all the way down to 1 hertz if the screen isn't moving, which saves a lot of battery. So I'm very impressed with the phone. Low light photography was amazing. It's not absolutely perfect. If it's getting to where it's an absolutely dark scene, it will blur a little bit. You'll see a little bit of the noise. But if you have any kind of regular ambient light, a dark room, lowly lit house, a bar, or walking around on the street at night, or doing landscape photography, this is incredible. If you're coming from the Note 20 or the S21 Ultra, I would say think twice. Again, if night vision means everything to you, then go ahead and grab this. If you're just concerned with beautiful photographs in the daytime, which both of these phones, the Note 20 Ultra and this phone, absolutely were equal with each other in the daytime photography and video. A little bit of differences in the zoom based on what resolution you're using, but these differences are negligible. And so if you have the Note 20, the only downside would be is it's kind of halfway through its life on upgrades. I think you get 3 years of upgrades. This came out in August of 2020, so it's kind of halfway through its life. The S22 Ultra, you get 4 years of upgrades on this one, Samsung upgrades, and I think 5 years of security upgrades. So this one, if you're in for longevity, it is definitely the better phone. If you have the S21 Ultra, which I don't know much about, it has the same camera module, at least as far as the hardware. It doesn't stick out as much on this one, of course. The cameras are almost identical. The one difference in this one also in the camera is it had that amazing director's view where you can see yourself in the video and you can see the zoom, regular, no zoom, or zoom in all on the same screen and select between all of them. That's an amazing feature that does not exist in the Note 20. It does exist in the S21 Ultra. So final verdict is, if you're a geek like me, you got to have the best, then the S22 Ultra is your phone. If you're coming from the Note 20 Ultra, or if you're coming from the S21 Ultra, think carefully about what your needs are, because there's very little reason to upgrade unless you're really worried about software upgrades, security patches, and extreme night vision photography. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching this. Remember to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and I'll be coming out with more reviews when I can. I may do a more in-depth camera review on this, but we'll see if I have time. Thanks, guys. So, guys, thanks for watching so far. So, kind of have a verdict in here. This is S22 Ultra 5G. Is an amazing phone. Battery life is amazing. You can go an entire day, 7 or 8 hours screen time, and still have about a 30% charge. And I'm not a gamer, so maybe my scores are not exact, but if you're just a regular user watching videos, taking pictures, using social media, this thing is a beast. It has a 5,000 milliamp battery. As I mentioned before, when I was doing the recordings, the adaptive rate will go all the way down to 1 hertz if the screen isn't moving, which saves a lot of battery. So I'm very impressed with the phone. Low light photography was amazing. It's not absolutely perfect. If it's getting to where it's an absolutely dark scene, it will blur a little bit. You'll see a little bit of the noise. But if you have any kind of regular ambient light, a dark room, lowly lit house, a bar, or walking around on the street at night, or doing landscape photography, this is incredible. If you're coming from the Note 20 or the S21 Ultra, I would say think twice. Again, if night vision means everything to you, then go ahead and grab this. If you're just concerned with beautiful photographs in the daytime, which both of these phones, the Note 20 Ultra and this phone, absolutely were equal with each other in the daytime photography and video. A little bit of differences in the zoom based on what resolution you're using, but these differences are negligible. And so if you have the Note 20, the only downside would be is it's kind of halfway through its life on upgrades. I think you get 3 years of upgrades. This came out in August of 2020, so it's kind of halfway through its life. The S22 Ultra, you get 4 years of upgrades on this one, Samsung upgrades, and I think 5 years of security upgrades. So this one, if you're in for longevity, it is definitely the better phone. If you have the S21 Ultra, which I don't know much about, it has the same camera module, at least as far as the hardware. It doesn't stick out as much on this one, of course. The cameras are almost identical. The one difference in this one also in the camera is it had that amazing director's view where you can see yourself in the video and you can see the zoom, regular, no zoom, or zoom in, all on the same screen and select between all of them. That's an amazing feature that does not exist in the Note 20. It does exist in the S21 Ultra. So final verdict is, if you're a geek like me, you got to have the best, then the S22 Ultra is your phone. If you're coming from the Note 20 Ultra, or if you're coming from the S21 Ultra, think carefully about what your needs are, because there's very little reason to upgrade, unless you're really worried about software upgrades, security patches, and extreme night vision photography. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching this. Remember to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and I'll be coming out with more reviews when I can. I may do a more in-depth camera review on this, but we'll see if I have time. Thanks, guys.